Hey everyone! I am so excited about this video because I have been wanting to put together some content for you guys other than choreography and tutorials. I wanted to be able to give you something that could help better you as dancers. So just some tips and tricks, maybe to do with technique or whatever it is. I want to help make you better. So I apologize too. In our studio here, we have all of our windows open, so it might get a little bit loud with the traffic out there. So I apologize for that. I will try to talk as loud as I can for you so you don't miss anything. But for our first video that I am gonna do, it is my favorite. That is why I chose this as the first one, but it is how to be more expressive in your dancing and to show your emotions more through your movements. This is definitely one of the most important things to me in my classes, and really my favorite part of dance is that expressive side of dance. If you see my channel, you know that I teach mostly lyrical and contemporary dance, which is definitely an emotional, passionate style of dance, which is probably why, I love the expressive side of it so much. But everything that I'm going to go over today, it doesn't just apply to lyrical dance or contemporary. I mean, this can be for all styles, hip hop, jazz funk, tap, whatever it is. You can really apply this to anything. And as you should. You don't want to just be expressive and lyrical and, have nothing in your jazz funk classes. There's still expression in that. It's just a different type of expression. So I want to help you figure that out, because I know sometimes it can be easier said than done to just show more emotion. And I see that a lot where people are saying, oh, I didn't see those dancers giving any emotion, or you need more emotion, or you're not very expressive, or whatever it is that they're telling you. I see it a lot. It can be easier said than done, and I totally understand that, because it was for me as well when I was younger. So I really want to help you understand how to apply that for yourself and your body, okay? So let's go ahead and start. First, I'm gonna go through just some tips or just some things with you guys, and then I'm gonna actually give you some little exercises that I do with my classes and my students, and things that have helped me actually when I was younger. And I have a bunch of notes right here as well, because two reasons: it keeps my head on track, and I can also ramble forever. So this could be like a 2-hour long video, and I know none of you want to hear me talk for that long. So I need these notes. Okay, first, let's talk about dancing from our head and dancing from our heart, okay? Really important. So when we are dancing in our head, that is our technique, that is learning choreography, that is the steps, the counts, all of those things that we're trying to train our body to do. That is what is in our head, right? And our expression and our emotion is what comes from our heart. So how do you learn to not dance in your head and to dance from your heart? So that is really what I want to help you learn how to do. And I know that every person is different, so some of this might not apply to you, some might, but hopefully overall it can help you guys out, okay? So dancing from our hearts is what we really want to try to focus on. So when you are in a class and you are learning choreography or you're learning technique, allow yourself that time to learn those things so that you are developing that muscle memory. So allow yourself time to learn that choreography, learn those 8 counts, learn all the steps, pay attention to the details. If you're learning the technique, pirouettes, keeping your knee turned out, your belly pulled in, shoulders back, all of those things, make sure that you're practicing, training, and really taking all of that in so that you can develop that muscle memory. That's why we want to develop, that's why we train to develop that muscle memory, so that we are no longer dancing from our heads and thinking about it. It's just a part of our body and our movements, so that we can start to really focus and dance from our hearts and just let that passion come through our movements. That makes sense. So I know too, there's some classes, if you are learning choreography, and there's teachers who might teach really fast or go through things really fast. So you might not really have that time that you would need to learn all of that choreography, but make that your first point, is that you're really focusing on letting your body learn and take all of that in so that you know it as well as you can, and then allow yourself to dig deeper and start to really dance from your heart and not think so much about all of the steps, okay? We do get in our heads a lot as dancers, and I still do. Okay, so all of these things that I'm going over, I have not mastered myself by any means. So it's definitely a work in progress all throughout your journey. So these are things that you will most likely need to always practice and work on. But as dancers, we dance a lot in our heads because, like I said, we are thinking of all of these steps, the technique, the choreography, all of these things. But what I really believe that we are in our heads for is fear. And it's that fear of maybe forgetting a step, maybe we fall out of a turn, maybe that fear of messing up, fear of what the choreographer will think, fear of what the people in class are going to think of us, fear of looking silly. Whatever it is, it's a fear that's sometimes holding us back from getting out of our head. And with that fear comes being judged. And we have those fears, I think, because we're afraid of being judged. But guess what? You are going to be judged in life, but in dance, no matter what. So for me, I personally believe if you're going to be judged, let them judge you on your 100%. Don't just give them 50% to judge you on. Go all out. Give them everything you got because you're going to be judged anyways. So let them judge you on everything you have, right? Why not put it all out there and give that to them? And that's confidence. And I'm going to go into that too in just a minute with that. But when you are doing your choreography or doing your steps, don't be afraid to let yourself make mistakes. So when you are doing steps, and I'm a really great example. If you watch my tutorials, when I do my combos, I do not always do them perfectly. And I kind of don't want to film them again. I want to leave it like that to show you that when you are giving 100%, and if you're really letting your emotions out, don't let falling out of a turn or maybe your leg didn't get that high, don't let that hold you back from really giving everything in those emotions, okay? Allow yourself to make those mistakes because it can still be so beautiful if you really are just fully committing and letting everything out that you have, okay? So don't be afraid to make those mistakes. Be easy on yourself and allow yourself to do that. And a reason I say that as well, and I tell my dancers this all the time, and this is actually an example for me as a dancer, is if I was in a room and I was watching two dancers and there was one dancer who was technically amazing, and then there was another dancer who technically wasn't at that same level, maybe more of a beginner, intermediate level, but they were so expressive and their emotions just carried through every ounce of their movement, then that's the dancer that I would be drawn to watch. And now don't get me wrong, every person is different. Everybody will have different opinions on that. But for me personally, that is how I feel about that. Now don't get me wrong, technique I think is very important. And I think you should always be working on your technique and, making yourself, better yourself in that. But I do think emotion can go a long way. And it did for me. I was not always the best dancer. I was never the best dancer in any room that I was in. There was always things that I could have done better, but I had a really successful professional dance career, and I really believe it's because I understood how to really let the passion of dance really shine through my movements, and it really carried me a long way. So if I was watching this dancer who was technically amazing, their leg is to their ear, they're doing triple pirouettes, all of these, and their toes are so pointed, they can hold these positions for, 5 minutes. But then this other dancer, who's doing single pirouettes, their leg is only at 90 degrees, but the passion and, the feeling that they had was just so amazing that it moved me. Then to me, that is what is so beautiful, because dance is an art. It's a passion. And when you can really connect that to it, I think it just makes it so beautiful, because when you're performing too, you really want to make somebody feel something. So even if it is jazz, funk, or hip hop, and it is a cute, sassy dance, like you want to make the audience feel happy, right? You want to make them have fun. You want to make them feel that with you. If it's that lyrical and it's maybe those sad movements, maybe you start to really connect with that audience and they start to really feel that pain that you're feeling, whatever it is. So just think about that, is just be easy on yourself when it comes to technique and getting those steps perfect. Is allow yourself, to just let your emotions come out. I hope all this is making sense to you. Again, I told you I can ramble. I have notes and I'm still rambling. Okay, moving on. So confidence, let's go back to that confidence, guys, that we were talking about. This is another one that is easier said than done. I get it. You cannot just tell somebody to have confidence and they will say, oh, okay, I'll have confidence. No, I get it. That it comes with time. It can come with maturity. It can come with so many things. But I will say you really have to develop that confidence in yourself to be able to be free and let those emotions out. Trust in yourself and have that confidence that you're not worrying what other people are thinking about you. Dance for you. Go into that classroom, get on that stage and do it for you. Dance because you love it, feel it. Don't do it for the audience. Don't do it for the person behind the curtain, whoever it is. Have that confidence in yourself that you love it and you can feel it, and it's just gonna shine through. I promise it will, I promise. Let's move into music. Music is a huge one for me, especially with lyrical. Again, keep going back to lyrical, but more so because a lot of lyrical has those songs where the words, every word really means something. It has a really big meaning. It's really powerful, really emotional. So it means a lot. But not even just the words, knowing your musicality. Okay, so musicality, knowing the beats, knowing the counts, really being able to listen to your music. Believe it or not, the musicality can have a lot to do with your emotions. So knowing the beat and knowing how to move with the beat, maybe that you know that song, you know those counts, you can drag it out a little bit further. Maybe you need to be a little sharp. Maybe that affects it. So musicality, okay, knowing your music. But also on top of the music is knowing your words, knowing what the song is about, okay? So really listen. If you have that time to listen to the song, pay attention. Listen to what they're talking about. Listen to what it's saying and really start to move your body with that. Connect those emotions with what that song is. So for instance, if there is a upbeat hip hop song, I'm not gonna be like, oh, dramatic, right? No, I'm gonna be fun. I'm gonna have smile the whole time. I'm gonna be sassy, whatever it is. But if I have that lyrical and it's a really sad song, they're talking about like someone breaking up with you, I'm not gonna be like, right? No, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad. So listen to the music and really try to connect yourself with what it is that they're singing about, okay? With that being said too, with the music and the connecting, so if you cannot connect to the song on a personal level, so if there is a song and it is about a girl who broke up with her boyfriend and he cheated on her and she is just devastated and she doesn't know how she's gonna go on, maybe you have never had a boyfriend. Maybe someone has never cheated on you. Maybe you've never had heartbreak like that before. So for you, you're like, okay, well, I'm listening to this song, but I've never felt those things, so now what, right? So what I do in those scenarios and what I tell my students as well is create a character, either a character for yourself or create a story for yourself when you're doing this dance, okay? So you can listen to the music if it's slow and it's sad. You can tell the tone of it, right? Maybe it's slow. You know that it's sad, but again, you haven't had that experience in your life, so you can't really relate your emotion to that. So that's where I would start to create maybe a story or a character. So maybe find something in your life that you can relate to. Maybe your friend stole something from you and it made you really upset. Okay, that's just an example. So if that is your story, then start to channel that with your movements, okay? So if I was dancing and I was like, oh my God, and then I was like, are you enjoying these facial expressions? But I would start to think about that. So I would start to connect that, even though that's, not the words that she's saying, that's what I'm thinking about. Because you want to pull out that genuine emotion, right? And I'm gonna get into that too in just a second. But yeah, so create that character, create that story for yourself so that you can relate to that. And actually, I can, we'll touch base with that too. So when you're creating that story, the reason I just said that is because you want your emotions and expressions to come from an organic, natural, authentic place. You don't ever want to force emotions. So if there is that sad song and that girl is singing about her boyfriend cheating on her, but you've never experienced that in your life, and you now are like, okay, well, I'll just pretend and I'll just, imagine what that would feel like, it might not come off as genuine. And it's gonna start to look forced, and we're gonna feel that, okay? It's not gonna feel like your emotions. It's not gonna feel real because it's not something that you can relate to. So that's why you wanna why I like to have those little, tips there for you to do those things, create that character, create that story, so that if you are thinking about your friend who stole something from you, even though that's not what the song is about, all of a sudden you're gonna start to feel those things, and it's gonna really show through in your movements. And I promise you, it does work, I promise you. Something too that I think can be really helpful, and this is gonna sound really silly, and I have made my students do it before, and they did laugh at first, but it works. Sit in front of a mirror, okay? And I do recommend doing this at home first so you feel comfortable by yourself, but sit in front of a mirror and go through your different facial expressions and look at yourself. Watch yourself and see how your face changes. So if I was mad, I'd be mad. If I was sad, if I was happy, are you enjoying this? But look at your face. Watch how your face changes and feel that in your face too, so that you can actually start to really notice, okay, well, when I'm sad, I can feel this in my face and this is what I look like. When I'm happy, oh, this is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. But like I said, do it at home so you're comfortable and you're by yourself. But it really is a great trick to sit and watch yourself. And on top of doing that in front of the mirror, a really great thing that I do is I suggest recording yourself dancing and watch it. So I try to record a lot of my classes, or I encourage my students to record, and not just for social media reasons or posting, which I do love to do, but it's for you personally to watch, because you could be doing something for a while and think that you either look a certain way or that you're doing it correctly or that you're doing it this way. But when you watch it, maybe you watch it and you're like, well, that's not what I thought it looked like. That's not right. And I've done it so many times. I have danced and I thought, okay, that was great, or that felt great. And I watched it and I was like, oh, I could have totally done this better. I could have done more in this, or whatever it is. So I really encourage you to dance, record yourself, watch it, and critique yourself. Because even though we have the mirrors when you're dancing, it's so different than dancing and looking at yourself in the mirror as you're dancing, as opposed to watching yourself dancing on a video. It really is a big difference. And I bet you that will make a huge difference as well in the corrections that you can make in your own body. So I love that tip as well. But those are gonna be the main things for you. And I wanna finish with the most important one, and it is have fun. You have to have fun when you are dancing, because if you are not, it is gonna show in your dance, and it is gonna hold you back from so much, from your technique, from your emotions, from everything. And really make sure that you were dancing for you. I know I said this a little bit earlier, but make sure that dance is something that you love, that you are doing it for you, that you go into that dance class, you go onto that stage, and it just fills your heart with happiness because you love to do it. And even if you're a professional dancer, you know, there's a lot of training, there's a lot of hard work, but make sure too that you still love it, because that love and that passion has to carry us through. And it's really, when you have that genuine love for that dance, it's just gonna shine through, and it's going to show so much more on your face, in your movements, with everything. So have fun and just enjoy it no matter what. Even if you mess up, enjoy it. I hope that all of this helps you guys. I still feel like I rambled, and I'm sure I probably missed some things that I wanted to go over with you guys, but if any of this helps you, I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to see if you guys applied any of this to your training, to your classes, and let me know if it worked, if it doesn't work. But also too, let me know in the comments if there are videos that you guys would like me to do. If there's any tips or tricks that you guys would like to know as far as dancing, let me know so that I can give you guys those videos and that help. And I hope you guys enjoyed our first tips and tricks video, and I will see you guys soon.